FTM, which is frequency division multiplexing, where what you do, you divide the bandwidth amongst separate users. So the bandwidth is shared by many users. This is frequency division multiplexing. Then there is WDM, wavelength division multiplexing. What happens? WDM is designed to use the high data rate capability of fiber optic cable. It is for fiber optic cables, because remember that in fiber optics, the signal is traveling in the form of light. So for light, there is no concept of frequency, the concept is of wavelength. That's why we talk about wavelength when it comes to light. The optical fiber data rate is higher than the data rate of metallic conceptual cable, right? We know that. If you compare this copper cable, the capacity of fiber optic cable is very, very high. It can carry the data at a very high. Using fiber optic cable for a single line wastes the available bandwidth. Multiplexing allows us to combine several lines into one, right? So if you send just one signal in fiber optic, okay, you are using it very inefficiently. Well, its capacity is this much, and you are sending only this. So what they do, they combine many so that the capacity is really good, and then they send it through the fiber optic cable. You know, it's like you have a huge classroom that can accommodate 100 students, and you are having a class of 10 students. So you are wasting resources. Right? So it's better to have many signals through fiber optic cable instead of one, and to combine those signals we use wavelength division multiplexing. So what happens that just like in frequency, you have users on the transmitter side of different frequencies, you combine them using FDM, here you combine them using WDM, wavelength division multiplexing. So on single fiber optic cable, then you have signals of different wavelengths, and the receiver you again separate them. And what they used to do is they use it's called prism. You know what's a prism? Manchur. Right? It's a glass thing with how many sides? 4 sides, right? And one base. Right? So, for example, if you have the prism and white light hits it, okay, on the other side you get the 7 colors, because white light is made up of 7 colors. So you can use that kind of concept in multiplexing the light signals, combine them, and on the other side you have the reverse of that, and you separate. I mean, this is the basic concept. It's not that simple the way it looks on the slide, but the concept is this: okay, that this is what we use to combine them and separate the light signals. Okay, this is WDM, wavelength division multiplexing. Okay, so this is what it is about WDM. Now we come to something called time division multiplexing. It is very important. It is used for digital data, TDM or time division multiplexing. So what we do in TDM, the concept is simple. TDM is a digital process that allows several connections to share the high bandwidth of a link. Instead of sharing a portion of the bandwidth as in FDM, time is shared. Each connection occupies a portion of time in the link. So in FDM, let's suppose you have this link, so you divide it amongst, let's suppose, 4 users. So part of the bandwidth is for each user. In TDM, you give the whole bandwidth, okay, to one user for a short time, right? So you take turn. For example, if there are 4 people, so first this guy will have the whole bandwidth for, let's suppose, 1 second. Then this guy will have the whole bandwidth for 1 second. This guy will wait. Then the third guy will have the whole bandwidth for 1 second, and the 3 will wait. Then the fourth guy will have the whole bandwidth for 1 second, and these 3 will wait. And then again, first, second, third, fourth. This way you take turns. The same link is used as in FDM. The link is sectioned by time rather than by frequency. It's something like this. Okay, so let's suppose you have 4 users on the transmitter side, and you have a multiplexer here. This multiplexer is actually TDM. So you see this is the bandwidth. Okay, this width is the bandwidth, or the pipe that you can see. So you can see that the user 4, he has the whole pipe for him, right? But for short time. On the x-axis is time, and here it is frequency. So in the case of FDM, it was like this: 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? So this was for the whole time, this was for user 1. For the whole time, this was for user 2. For the whole time, this was for user 3, and this one. This is FDN, right? What is happening in TDN? That instead of giving him one portion, you are giving him the whole bandwidth. Okay? But you are not giving it for the whole time. You give it for some time, then you give it for user 3, user 2, user 1. Then again 4, 2. It starts like this. User 1 uses the whole bandwidth, then user 2, user 3, user 4. Then again 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is how it goes. It looks as if when this guy is transmitting, these guys are waiting, okay? But it is so fast that the user doesn't feel that he is waiting, right? Because the things are going on in milliseconds or microseconds, okay? So the guy who is working on the computer, he will not even feel that he is being made to wait. Okay? This is TDM. And of course, on the receiver side, then this is how this data goes to 1, this goes to 2, 3, and 4. All right? Okay. Now, let's look at this example. Now, this is very important. If you understand this slide, then you will not have problem in the subsequent slides and the numerical problems. Now, let's suppose I have 3 users, A, B, and C, right? Blue, yellow, and pink. Okay. Let's suppose this is 1 bit. Okay. So the user A, he is sending data like this. Bit 1 from user A comes, then bit 2 comes, then bit 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Similarly for user B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Then user C, right? The duration of a bit in each of these users is T, right? Okay. Now what happens in TDM, let's suppose this multiplexer is TDM. They are going to take turns, right? So first, A will transmit, okay? And you see here, A is transmitting. Then he will take the first bit from B. Then he takes the first bit from third user, C, right? Again he comes back. One from here, one from here, one from here. Again he comes back. One from here, one from here, one from here. So you can see this is how it is transmitted. Blue, yellow, pink, blue. This is simple, right? This is very easy to understand. The main thing here that you have to understand is that during this time T, over here in the input side, how many bits are transmitting? 3, 1 for each one, right? In time T, all 3 are transmitting. So on the output side as well, you have to make sure that in time T you are transmitting these 3 bits. That's why you see here it is T, and you see that the duration of each one has been reduced from this to this, right? See here the bit, it is this much, right? But here A is this one. Why you are doing that? So to ensure that in time T all are transmitted, right? 3 bits are transmitted, right? So that's why the time duration of each bit has been reduced by 3. If I had 4 users here, this would have been T by 4, right? I explain it in another way. Let's suppose I don't do that. You say, well, why we are doing it? Why don't we just do like this? This is A, right? A1, then I have B1, and then I have C1, right? And the duration here is T. Right? You might say, why don't I do that like that? Because in time T, A is transmitting, in time T, B is transmitting, in time T, C is transmitting. But what happens next? If you have another one, A2, then you have B2, and then you have C2, right? So again, here is T, T, T. The problem is that here, A has to wait for 2T more time before it can transmit another bit, right? While over there, he was transmitting bit every T times he was transmitting a bit, right? So here, you are reducing the bit rate. The bit rate has gone down. That is, you are transmitting 3 bits in how much time? 3T time. While on the input side, you are transmitting 3 bits in 1T time, right? So the duration of each bit after it is multiplexed is reduced by the number of users. So this whole thing is t, but the individual time for each user is t by 3. So if I have 4 users, it will become t by 4. If I have 5 users, t by 5, and so on.
If you did this, you're going to need more bandwidth.
No? Why more bandwidth?
Because you are sending 3 users in one time.
That's why. The thing is that the link here is 1, right? Its bandwidth is as much as this, like 3 bits in time t seconds. Yani, in one sense you are right, that over here, if you just use this, the bandwidth required is 1 by t, right?
Yeah.
But now the bandwidth required is 3 by t, so it is 3 times. Yes, in that sense you are right. The thing is that what is the bit rate over here? This is bit duration, right? It is t. So bit rate here is 1 by t. And how much is the bit rate over here? 3 by t. So you can see here, the bit rate here is 3 times. Right? So in that sense, you're absolutely right. Very good. That's why the previous slide says TDM is a digital multiplexing technique for combining several low rate channels into one high rate one. Right? So that's why the rate of this one has to be high to accommodate these as compared to this one. Okay, let's go through some problems. I'll come back to this. In figure 6.30, the previous one, is talking about this figure. The data rate for each input connection is 1 kilobits per second. Okay. If 1 bit at a time is multiplexed, that is you are taking 1 bit from one user, 1 bit from second one bit from third one, right? So you are taking 1 bit at a time. You can also take 2 bits. So here he's saying 1 bit at a time is multiplexed. What is the duration of each input slot, each output slot, and each frame? Okay, now let's go back and let me explain. What he's saying that now he's giving data. So this he's saying is 1 kilobits per second, right? How much is this? 1 kilobits per second. And here as well, 1 kilobits per second. These are the 3 users that you want to combine. Okay. The first thing he's asking, he's saying, how much is the input bit duration? What's the meaning of input? This part is input, and this part is output. So input bit duration means how much is this? Right? How can you find that out? You know the bit rate.
1 over.
Exactly. So because you know that bit rate is equal to 1 over bit duration. Okay. And on the other hand, bit duration is equal to 1 over bit rate, right? Just like f is equal to 1 over t, t is equal to 1 over f, right? The same type of formula. So you know the bit rate, so you can find the input bit duration, right? How much is that? It is going to be 1 over 1 into 10 to the power 3, right? How much is that?
1 minute.
Exactly, 10 to the power minus 3 seconds, or 1 milliseconds. Right? So input bit duration, which is this, is 1 millisecond. Okay, is it clear?
Yes.
Right? So far no problem. 1 kilobit per second is the bit rate. How much is the bit duration? 1 over 1 kbps, which is 1 milliseconds. Now he's saying how much is the output bit duration? So now he's asking this. How much is this? Right? I know I have 3 users. Okay. So the time for each one has to be 1/3 of what you had over here, right? So output bit duration is going to be, let me write again, output bit duration is equal to t over 3 is equal to 1 over 3 milliseconds. right?
Yes.
Okay, third part. Now what is this? When you combine these 3 bits from 3 users, this is called a frame, right? So you one frame, second frame, third frame. Now he's saying, what is the frame rate?
Equal the data.
Exactly. Very good. What is the frame rate? Frame rate is going to be, you see here, how much is this duration?
1 millisecond.
T. And how much is this duration? Since both the durations are the same, so the frame rate is going to be the same as your input bit rate, always. Right? So frame rate
1 millisecond.
is the same frame rate is the same as input bit rate. The only thing is the unit. This is 1 kilobits per second, so the frame rate will be 1 kilo frames per second, right? So this is equal to 1 kilo frames per second. And what is the duration of one frame? What is the duration of one frame? 3 kilo. What is the duration of one frame? Duration is time. 1 millisecond. This is the duration of one frame. It is written there. Right? And G is 1 millisecond. Okay. Okay, so this is the solution, same thing, but I'm just repeating. The data rate of each input connection is 1 kbps. This means that the bit duration is 1 over 1000 or 1 millisecond. The duration of the input time slot is 1 millisecond, which is the same as the bit duration. The duration of each output slot is 1/3 of the input time slot because you have 3 users, so it is 1 by 3 milliseconds, the way we did it. Each frame carries 3 output time slots. So the duration of a frame is 1 milliseconds and the speed of the frame is 1 kilo frames per second. Okay, let's take another example. In this example, instead of 3 users, I have 4 users. Instead of 1 kilobit per second, the speed of each user is 1 megabit per second. And you take 1 bit from each user to make 1 frame. Right? So you can see here I have 1, 2, 3, 4 bits from each user. Okay? So here 1 frame has how many bits? 4 bits because I have 4 users. Right. So figure 6.14 shows synchronous stringing. This is called synchronous stringing, with a data stream of each for each input and 1 data stream for the output. The unit of data is 1 bit. When it is unit of data is 1 bit, this means that you are taking 1 bit from each user. Find the input bit duration, the output bit duration, the output bit rate, and the output frame. Okay. So we go back. Now look at this figure. Okay, and without looking at the solution, the slides have the solution. Give me all these things. Okay. First of all, tell me what is the. Now let's solve this. It is exactly the same. Okay. The only thing is that number of users are many. We need to use synchronous TDM. This is what we are talking about is synchronous TDM. And combine 40 digital sources. So how many users I have?
40.
40. Each of 100 kbps, right? So basically what he's saying is that I have user number 1 whose bit rate is 100 kbps, right? I I have another user with the same bit, 100 kbps. This way, I have all the way up to 40 users, 100 kbps, right? So I have 40 users. Each one has this. Each output slot carries one bit from each digital source, right? Simple. We have done it before. Okay. But one extra bit is added for each frame for synchronization, right? So let's suppose for the time you forget about this. Each output slot carries one bit from each digital source, right? So no problem. Like in the previous one, you had 4 users. Before that one, you had 3 users. Now you have 40 users. So you take one bit from each user. That makes it one frame. Now he's saying that we are adding one extra bit each frame for synchronization. So this means that each frame will have how many bits? 41. 40 are coming from these users. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 40 plus 1 for synchronization. So the frame size will be 41 bits. Answer the following questions. Part A. What is the size of an output frame? You just told me 41, right? What is the output frame rate? Now you solve all these. They're exactly the same as the previous ones. Okay. Part A you have done. It is 41 bits. Frame is frame, no matter how many bits it is. Yeah, so 100 kilo, 1 over 100 kilo is 1 microsecond. Okay. No, what I was saying. Yeah, 100 milliseconds.
It's 10. It's not 1.
Because it is 10 to the power minus 5 and it goes up. No. kiloflops, right? So it is 1 over 100 into 10 power 3, right? Which is 1 over 10 power 5, right? So it is actually 0.1 seconds. What is the output data? Yes, 4.1 mega. What is this? Mega? Not baud, bits per second. You're talking about bit rate, not the yeah, data is bits. He's not saying signal rate, that is